us. This is the Epsilon Psi Diversify with Epsilon Psi Podcast. We have myself, Cynthia Harris. We have Ms. Renee Rochelle. We have Ms. Renetta Smith. And we have Ms. Carolyn Cox, all members of Iota Phi Lambda Sorority and the Epsilon Psi chapter. Epsilon Psi chapter is based out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and Iota Phi Lambda sorority is a business and professional sorority. And so we're coming and to talk with you about different things that we go through as business and professional women. We're coming to laugh a little, love a little, and share some real life experiences. And our first podcast is a pilot podcast, so we might have some bumps and bruises along the way, but we ask that you continue to watch us as we bring to you some good meat and potatoes when it comes to being business and professional women. So we'll start off by introducing each person, their profession, and what it is that they do, and then we'll move on to the next thing. So we'll start with you.
Sure. My name is Renee Rochelle, and I am an IT technical consultant for healthcare IT. I do everything from soups to nuts, from programming to project management.
My name is Renetta Smith. I am a business owner. I'm a designer. I have my own boutique, custom clothing, and I also work at my church on the technical team.
My name is Carolyn Cox, and I am an operations manager. I deal basically with logistics and transportation.
Awesome. And my name is Cynthia Harris. I am a talent advisor for a supply chain and logistics company. And again, welcome, ladies.
No, thank you.
Thanks for coming. To get started, what are some challenges that you all face as business and professional women?
Well, me in particular, one of the challenges I face is basically because I have a custom clothing company. You get a lot of likes, and you get a lot of people that like your stuff, but it's hard to kind of get continuous customers coming back. So that's one of the things I struggle with, as well as trying to stay relevant in the custom clothing business. So that's one of the things I struggle with.
Okay.
But overcoming.
Okay. So you say, continuous customers. You get some people that come just for certain things or certain items that you sell or that you customize. You want a continuous flow of customers. What is it that you're looking for?
A continuous flow of customers and return customers as
okay.
well. I have a nice amount of return customers, but because I make custom clothing, it's hard to getting people coming in, shopping every day is kind of hard because I'm doing custom clothing. So I have implemented regular clothing, but I like to stick with the custom clothing side of things. But, just having that regular customer basis.
Because that shows your creativity with the customized clothing.
Right.
Okay.
What are you doing in terms of branding and putting your information out there in social media and such?
The biggest part is social media, Facebook, Instagram. And I have a website, but it's word of mouth. And the thing that I do everything by myself. So it's hard. Well, I'm not going to say it's hard. It's a challenge to focus on one thing. I have a schedule. Like I'll do orders one day, and then I do my business side or my marketing side. But it's hard to stay on track when I'm my only help. So.
Have you considered reaching out to some like a grad student or an MTSU student or a student that could help you with any entity of the business, whether it be maybe a design student? I know you have the creativity, the creative rights to whatever, but have you thought about obtaining any help that way?
I have thought about, and a lot of people have mentioned, me getting taking students, but the thing is, I work from home,
Gotcha.
and so I have to be aware of who,
Coming
coming
in
in
your
and out my
house.
house. At one time when I had a physical location, a brick and mortar was fine, but now it's kind of,
Okay.
I got you.
All right. Are there some, things, challenges that you guys, deal with, in your profession that you find that, we don't talk about a lot? What are some challenges that you have?
With me, the biggest challenge that we have involves people.
Mm.
And we've got all age ranges from baby boomers
Okay.
to millennials.
Okay.
And while you want to lead them all in a specific way, different people react to different things.
Uh-huh.
And so it creates its own challenge when you're trying to work with such a diverse group of individuals.
Okay.
But it is definitely something that can be a lot of fun. I mean, you have all kinds of challenges as a black female in the workforce when you're
Absolutely.
working in corporate America. But my day-to-day is really my people and making sure that I'm leading them in the right direction.
Okay.
right.
Okay.
Now, that whole Black woman in corporate America, that may be a different podcast.
Well, we can touch on that.
Yeah,
we can touch on that.
is.
Because that is something that we don't talk about a lot. The struggles that we deal with, as professional women, and the things that happen that keep us from moving up
Right.
in the professional ladder. So that's discussions that we don't have.
Yeah.
And so that's the purpose of having this setting is to give somebody, some, something to work with, something to think about, and even for ourselves, when it comes to being, dealing with those challenges in the professional realm.
Absolutely. Now, and I'll tell you, I've been in the logistics transportation industry for well over 20 years.
And that's a male-dominated industry.
So male, you are absolutely right. And I'll tell you, one of the things, sometimes if I had anything to say to my 20-year-old self 20 years ago, I would have said, get a mentor, and don't be afraid to change.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to look for other opportunities that may position you in a different city, state, or zip code. Don't be afraid to move.
Okay.
But a mentor and having someone that knows how to navigate that male-dominated society would have been great for me. But when you're 20 years ago, you're young, you're hard-headed, you think you know everything.
Yeah.
And fast forward 20 years later, I find out, okay, maybe I don't. But there are still, and life changes. So, my 20-year-old self now says I'm really good with where I'm at.
Yeah.
Now, how do I make that work best for me?
Absolutely.
Right.
Because life changes, things change, and you want to be able to adjust with that and continue to grow and develop. So.
And I think too, that's where we fall short, because we get complacent, we get happy, we good where we are, and we stop putting more back into ourselves, putting that more the professional development piece.
Right.
That's the piece that we stop doing. Even if it's not dealing with our job per se, but being able to put a little bit more back into ourselves to keep ourselves relevant.
Yes.
In the industry, or just relevant in general when it comes to being professional.
Right.
So,
and not being afraid to learn new things.
Yes.
Yes. So often when you've done it this way for so long, you get kind of stuck.
You do.
It's okay to learn how to use Excel. I mean, that's something that's real basic, but a lot of people don't. They don't know how to make. They don't know how to make Excel sing, and you want to know how to do those kinds of things. It's amazing the value added that you'll have to a company just to be able to do something on Excel other than put numbers inside the little box.
Right.
And don't be afraid afraid to enhance whatever skills you've got. If you're not a great public speaker, go take some classes. Don't be afraid to learn what TikTok is and what that's all about, and how it might actually help you in some endeavor. I still don't know what it is, but I heard about it, and it looks like
it's another social media thing.
Right. So, we've got to not be afraid of stuff. And just, oftentimes I'll call my son and I'll say, hey, can you do this? And his favorite answer, and I always have to go back and go, yeah, you're right, is Google it.
Yeah.
Mom, check it out on YouTube. There are so many things that you can learn just by looking. And I've even suggested that in some of the classes that I teach. There are lots of new concepts that we have. Make a YouTube video out of it. And we've started to make little videos that help people actually overcome bigger challenges.
Well, that's what we're here for.
I want to touch base on a 20-year-old, going back to your 20-year-old self. Because I come from parents who were factory workers, as a lot of people my age range. A lot of our parents didn't grow up in corporate America, so you did not have that mentoring. And when you're that age, you know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
So did you know that there was such a thing that was called a mentor in the business realm that could guide you through all of that?
Heard the concept but didn't know, well, who do I get?
Yeah.
Well, see,
How
that's
do I choose?
the
What's
problem.
good? Exactly.
Young people going into corporate America, they don't understand the rules of engagement. They don't know that you can find somebody that you can attach to. They don't know they haven't acquired that skill yet to be able to observe, to say, that person does it well. Let me go attach myself to that person so I can understand how to do it well too.
Right.
But I think a lot of that is because we're so complacent. Everybody's happy to be in their position.
Right.
We don't have enough people reaching back to the 20-year-old.
Wow.
We just have that information.
Yeah.
And one of the things, again, that I learned later on is that I always emulated from the very best. And, I was like, if somebody was doing something good, this is what I want to, this is how I want to do that. Or if I saw someone doing something really bad, this is what I don't want to do. Not realizing that mentor that I should have is not necessarily the person who's doing the same job but doing it better than me, but that person that's 2 levels above me. And being able to say, you're the director or you're a vice president, how do I get to that next level, and what can we do to help each other get there? Because you get there by building relationships.
Wow.
And we haven't fostered that as individuals because nobody ever taught us.
Right.
So.
Right.
Good stuff. So we were having conversation earlier about being laid off. And how do you ever get over the emotions once you get laid off from a job? How do you bounce back from that? Or how do you what steps do you take? Because when it hits you, you think like, oh, I'm okay, but then it set in you, and then it make you feel some kind of way. It make you feel, it puts you in a low place. Because I've been there. I've been laid off. And, whether I get a severance or not, but the fact that I was let go. Yeah. And it was like, why me?
Right.
What was it about me that, that they wanted to, severance ties with me? And again, having a severance, but that only lasts for so long. So it puts you in the mind frame of, I got to hurry up, get back out here. I got to find me another job. I got to sell myself again. It just a whole bunch of things transpire once you get that notice of, okay, we're gonna lay you off. So what do we do? What are some things that we can do to help ourselves bounce back from a setback?
Right.
It's just a setback, and I'm not gonna say, it's something that's just keeping it's gonna all continuously keep you down, but as my pastor always say, a delay is not a denial. It's just for a short period of time. Get yourself together, But you gotta find a way to kind of bounce back, and sometimes it's hard to just bounce back, because that sting, it's sting.
Yeah.
And you be like, oh, hold up, let me get it together. But sometimes people can fall deeper into a depression, where it's hard for them trying to pull themselves up, out of that hole, and they're slow walking. So what are some things we can do to help that person bounce back, or what are some ideas that you guys
I will speak to that.
I was laid off in November.
And I was like, I dare them do that. I was praying, Lord, I need some time off. I can't stay in this place. I want to go someplace else. And then when they let me go, I was like, how dare they let me go? The nerve, the audacity, the unmitigated God that they let me go. I gave them people 9 years of my life. And I ain't gonna say no names, but I'm gonna use it. They let Jethro stay here halfway through their work, and I come
don't have education
right
that you have, the skill level that you have, the personality that you have.
That's right.
You coming to the table with the whole gamut, and
That's right.
They
let Jethro stay, and they let Renee go. So this is what I will say to that from my personal experience. So the first thing, I can understand how your feelings, your animosity, and all that will rear its head. But the first thing I would say, understand that no job is loyal.
Yes.
No job is loyal, and honestly, no job owes you anything. And if you are in an at-will state, they can come to your desk and say, at will, and no severance, and say thank you for your time, but you can come back and get your stuff later. So that's the first thing that you need to understand, that could very well happen. So understanding that, you need to posture yourself in a position that if that does happen, then you need to go through with the good old financial wisdom that people tell you all the time. Make sure you have an emergency fund, and make sure you have some money put away just in case anything happens. So that will kind of lessen your anxiety and worries right there, because most people who are really, really worried or got some anxiety, a lot high level anxiety, is because they know their money is about to work. What am I going to do with my family? How am I going to pay my mortgage? What about my car? I got a kid in college. But if you position yourself in a way that if that happens, then you'll be okay for a few months. That brings your anxiety level down. Another thing that you need to be, especially I can say as a Black woman, you need emotional intelligence. You need emotional intelligence to be able to be stable.
Okay.
So in the workplace, you need to be stable and always need to know how to think here, as opposed to letting your emotions think and speak and talk for you.
Okay.
Because it's real easy. We as Black women, and I don't know when we're going to talk about this on another podcast, I'm surprised that every Black woman blood pressure ain't 250 over 198. You have to police yourself so much in the workplace where your counterparts do not. But that's a different. That's another.
Ooh, that's a good conversation.
Yeah, that's a good conversation.
I got something for
Yo,
that.
honey. So you have to have some emotional intelligence to say, hey, I am more than just this job. I'm more than just this position. And it's cool, but I'm not gonna lie. Even though I wanted out of that job, but I played it real strategic.
Okay.
Even though I wanted out, I still, like you said, felt some kind of way when I got that phone call. I was like, Craig, how they gonna fire me on my day off? They called me on my day off and told me I was laid off. So after I stopped laughing about it, I did get mad about it.
Yeah.
But then I said, I had my ducks in a row. I had some money put aside even before the severance, so I knew that I was gonna be okay.
Okay.
And then you need a whole lot of faith. I prayed about it. I prayed that, do I need to start looking immediately? Can I take a few weeks off? What is it that you need
get
to
your
do?
mind right.
I had to get my mind
Yeah.
right, because see, had I got pushed myself out there too quickly, then my mind wouldn't have been good for interviews and resumes and all that. So I took my rest. And then I prayed, I literally waited till God said, go ahead, it's time for you to move.
Awesome.
When I did,
things
lined up, and I did get, actually I just got to sign my acceptance papers today.
Wow.
So I started putting in my resumes a couple of weeks ago and accepted today. But to be laid off, you do feel like it made me question myself.
Yes.
But I always say, and I tell young girls this when I mentor them, you always have to have a clear-cut definition of yourself, because anxiety, fear, and all that stuff is going to set in.
It trickles.
It trickles, it sets in, but you always got to have two things. I know who I am, and I know who I serve. And with those two things, I knew how to move.
All right.
And to what you were saying, how you said you really didn't want to stay there. Sometimes you got to be careful what you say, because sometimes God will kind of like, okay, well, this is what you want, but a lot of times He's taking you to something better.
Oh, yeah.
Much better, you know.
I was waiting on them to. If I'm gonna leave, y'all gonna pay me.
Right.
That was my strategy because you can see different handwritings on the wall.
Yeah.
You can see the hypocrisy. You can see all the politics. You can see all those different things. But I always say, when you go into the workplace, I'm gonna give you what I owe you. I'm gonna give you my job, but best believe I am there because it benefits me.
Right.
At the end of the day, so ain't nothing Bob, James, Johnny, Joe can say to make me mess up
Real
my
talk.
money.
Real
You're
talk.
you're not gonna get me a no emotional. That's why I said that emotional intelligence is so important, because people will try to draw things out. They want to see the bonquisha.
Right.
They want to see the bonquisha. Come on, they want that nectar roll.
That finger pointing.
They want to see the BET version of you.
Yeah.
But I always give them the PRO. You always gonna get the pro.
That's
The
what's
pro
up.
is always gonna show up, and you're not gonna drag me out emotionally so that you can see Bonquisha on set. It's not gonna happen. But a lot of times with some black, I hear it, I see it all the time. They get so wrapped up in their emotions. When problem comes up, you can't really defend yourself because you're deep down in your emotion instead of operating off of facts. Then people don't care about your emotions. What can you bring to the table to prove to be true? If Johnny was treating you wrong, prove it. If your manager was doing you wrong, prove it. They don't care about your tears, and you tell them, well, I told them yesterday. Where's it documented?
Yes.
Right.
It ain't about what you feel; it's about what you can prove. So, in terms of being laid off, you got to have all of that aligned, but you have to get yourself in a position to know that if something does happen, they're not putting your back against the wall. You write your own story, not them.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. So
It's funny that you say that, because, and you're absolutely right. We can't afford to get emotionally involved.
But we're such emotional creatures.
Our counterparts can do that.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Let's talk about it.
Becky can cry and
Why
whine.
they gotta be Becky?
Becky went through
And it was really interesting because I was confronted with that once, and Becky's father, held some position within the company, and so I'm talking to my manager, and we're having this dialogue while this young lady's sitting over here in tears because she didn't like what I said, and I had hurt her feelings, but I was being honest,
Right.
and so I was specifically told, well, you may never know, she may be your manager one day.
Wow.
And my response to her was, if she's my manager,
I wouldn't.
I'm not gonna be here, and it's okay.
Right.
And I mean, and meant every word of it. And it's amazing because that young lady has come and gone from the company.
Sound like she rolled her neck a little bit.
I did not. I kept it
PR, the pro show. That's right.
But sometimes you can say things with conviction,
Yeah.
without the neck rolls. But that seriously, she's been in and out of the company 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
In the same position. And I promise you, if anybody who looks like me decides to leave, I can't just come back and be the manager. I will be driving a vehicle, or doing some kind of hourly position in order to prove that I'm capable of doing that job.
Yeah.
So, but it is amazing to me how oftentimes other individuals can get away with that crying stuff, but we can't afford to be emotional.
No.
But I have a question for you. Especially when it comes to that, being an entrepreneur is so hard because
It is.
you are solely dependent on you. there are often times, well, in your business, because you've got a website, you can make money while you're sleeping because people buy things all day long. But how do you stay motivated to go out there and do that extra push and continue to strive and just really pound the pavement in order for your business to grow and develop?
Well, with what I'm doing, my passion is what keeps me motivated.
That's what's up.
Like, I just find I wasn't always motivated. It wasn't always as easy, but I'm not saying that it's easy, but I just faith praying and just, I have to stay relevant. I have to think of things that's outside the box that nobody would ever think of, and that's what keeps me motivated. I know at the end of I still have to pay my bills, so I'm still thinking like that stresses me out sometimes, but I have to always do something I'm very passionate about. I'm living my passion. So, and then in the meantime, if I have to Uber, if whatever I have to do, I'm going to make it.
That's what's up.
So that's what I do.
Okay. Okay.
That's good.
Wow. Cause just thinking about it, you said you live in your passion, and that's what keeps you motivated. So, that's what keeps that creative juice flowing. That's what keeps, us giving us them little fly swag shirts and,
And then it does feel good, like seeing people liking the thing, that you make. Even a lot of things that I make, it's better to see it in person than to see it online. So, like, when I get people coming over and they'll look at the stuff and it's like, wow, that makes me feel good. I'm going to go make some more of it, or if I show something old, like a sweatshirt, that motivates me. I just have to always do something that a whole bunch of crazy stuff is really what keeps me motivated. Doing mixed fabrics and stuff.
That's right.
But I mean, it was a choice I had to make when I left corporate America, and I made this. I prayed, and I'm not a quitter. So whatever I have to do to make it work, I'm going to make it work.
Awesome.
Well, that makes me proud of you. It makes me, because I know it takes a whole lot of courage and gumption to step out and say that I'm going to leave something that's secure.
Yeah.
To go into something that's a question mark. And you did that, so I hope you pat yourself on your back every single day.
Absolutely.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
That takes a lot. That is no small feat.
Yeah,
It's not.
And oftentimes people give up just before they get to that breakthrough.
Ooh.
So if you can just keep pressing and do the doggone thing,
That's
and
real talk.
it eventually comes with perseverance, hard work, good marketing and branding.
Yes.
So, right. So just stay after it for sure.
Yeah.
And a mentor.
And a mentor.
It's still, even at this stage, it's still okay for you to reach out to somebody else who've been there and done that, and get some.
But in business, let's get real.
Come on.
But in business, when you're working, I don't have a lot of women that do the same things that I do. That, I mean, we may not do. I'm probably one of the few other seamstresses, or designers, but there's not a lot of black women who have their own boutiques and that actually want to reach out. Everybody's wanting to take, or they don't want to give, they don't want to help. And I'm the type of person where it's food out here for everybody.
Yes.
You can go to Walmart, you can go to Target, you can go to me, you can go to them, So, but you don't get a lot of like mentors in fashion here. Well, it's with black women.
But there's some mentors in marketing and branding.
Yes,
So
there are.
Whatever you can grasp at, then I would say go for it. But on the other end of the spectrum, we as women have to be open and available to share the information instead of keep it so tight as if, oh my God, if I give it away, then somebody else is going to be better than me.
No.
Let me tell you something. I have learned when you help other people, that makes you at your best.
Right.
Yes.
You might be giving them information, but as soon as you give them some information, some know-how, some nuggets of wisdom, then it comes back full circle.
Back.
I have seen it time and time. I help somebody comes back and helps me. That's just how it works.
That's a whole
And when
circle.
it's a whole circle, and I love to. You succeed, I succeed.
Yes.
You do good, I do good.
Lord,
you
yes.
make it, I make it. And I'm not for sure where this crabs in the barrel came from. Can we cuss on here?
Yeah, we can.
But that bullshit needs to leave. It needs to go on somewhere.
Yes.
I cannot
Real
stand
talk.
that.
It's real
Let
talk.
me stay there for a minute. What is wrong?
Yeah.
I have worked with some women, some sisters in corporate America, and they have been by far 20 times worse than a white man around
yeah.
the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And they feel like they make it. Like my daddy said, girl, they don't care nothing about your black ass either. They don't. They don't care nothing about you.
That's
And
real.
all the time we got our counterparts. They pull each other up.
All the time.
And then we get in there and we get so scared. Oh shoot, if I help Master see me help you,
Yeah.
then
Well,
then I'm gonna get in trouble.
But that's exactly where that comes from.
It is,
Again,
it is.
that's another topic of conversation that we could probably spend an hour on. But if
Yeah.
you think about it, it comes from that slave mentality.
I goes in
And-
there like Django. I don't care.
But and it's sad because I mean, even when you just look at the world as a whole, for as far as we've come, we've got so much further to go.
Yeah.
we do.
And and instead of, I celebrate all my sisters.
You do.
I
You
don't
do.
give a doggone whatever you done.
Mhm.
Because if I want to see us all succeed.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And it does not matter, but there are far too many of us that are afraid that somebody's gonna get theirs before I get mine.
Yeah.
And it ain't even about that. It's about what can we do for each other
Yep.
to continue to uplift.
Yep.
That's right.
And if we get off the plantation,
Mhm.
we can probably figure out how to do that.
Ooh,
for each
That's
other.
right.
Make a
And
shout, make a
that's
shout.
right.
So,
And most of the time, that plantation is in your head. It's in your mind. It's
Wow.
the way we think. Look, if I do something, I mean, for both of you, I know these ladies long. If I do some good job, congratulations, and it ain't no just BS type of
Yeah.
Right.
patron.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
sincere,
for real. Mhm.
girl, you gone and do
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
She was somewhere, I don't know, I ain't known her. She my sorority sister. How the heck, girl? I was like, girl, give me that necklace when you get tired. She took
Uh-huh.
it off her neck and gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just goes to show you
Yep.
that, hey, I ain't in competition with you.
Right.
I'm with you, because if we all climb up the ladder, we all on top.
Right.
It don't matter if I get there first or if I get there second,
Yep.
but we all gonna get there if we support each other. But I think a lot of times that support, a lot of that comes from some internal issues.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
comes from some self-worth issues. It comes from
Insecurity.
insecurity.
Mhm.
If I see you shine, then I'm dim. That ain't how that works.
So, but let's talk about Iota real quick. And that's the thing that I absolutely love about our business sorority, and just working with women who don't mind helping each other.
That's right.
There's a whole lot of stuff I don't know.
Thank you,
And the
EP.
thing, yes, and the thing that I love the most is the fact that if there's something, let's say I'm working on a project, community service project, and I need some people to help me out.
Mhm.
There is somebody within our organization
Mhm.
that knows how to do something I don't.
Yeah.
And I have yet to reach out to them and say, can you help me? I get a definitive yes.
Mhm.
And if I get a no, it's no, I can't do that, but
Mhm.
I know somebody over here who can probably help you out. It is so encouraging to have people who can assist. So, and oftentimes when somebody calls me and go, hey Carolyn, can you do XYZ? I got you.
Yeah.
Because that's just what we do.
Yeah.
And I mean, that kind of love and that kind of support, you can't buy that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it is a beautiful thing. So I love being a part of this organization because we are always trying to find ways to uplift each other
Awesome.
and to make sure that we have what we need.
Awesome.
So
Well, with that being said, we're gonna leave it on that note. Being all of us being members of Iota Phi Lambda Sorority Incorporated, the very first African American business and professional sorority, and members of Epsilon Psi chapter here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We hope that you gained some information, been inspired to move forward in your professional career, your professional journey, or even your entrepreneur journey. We hope that something we've said sparked a little, something in you to move forward. And we thank you for tuning in, and keep your eye out on the next podcast from the Diversify with